My name is Marko Pogac. I come from Slovenia. I am working in a kind of healing, ecological healing work, area that I developed. I started with a kind of acupuncture of the earth. This is I'm doing since 30 years this kind of work, which is positioning stones on certain points to balance a place, but the stones are also carved with certain science cosmograms to communicate with the place. So there is kind of cooperation between the energies of the earth and the cosmos related to the stones, and a communication with the place and its beings through the language of cosmograms, a kind of visual language carved in the stones. Through this work I came in contact with elemental beings. Who are elemental beings? Elemental beings, seen traditionally, those beings, consciousness, intelligence that is behind the visual manifestation of nature, of water, of cycles, of movement, of life powers. All this does not go automatically, but is always accompanied, directed, and recreated by elemental beings. Traditionally we speak of dwarves and fairies, onyxes and so on. But I discovered that there is this world is much larger. It is a kind of parallel reality. So we have on one hand the reality that we are incarnate as human beings. We are incarnated in and among us, around us are plants and mountains and animals and our fellow human beings and the whole culture. And so this is one aspect, but there behind what we call the causal level or etheric level, there behind is another dimension where the archetypes of everything that exists on the embodied level exists there in the form of fluid form of archetypes, of movements and of consciousness. The tragedy of our civilization is that by developing our rational way of thinking and looking at nature and environment, we develop a kind of wall. More and more we are closed into three-dimensional world, or we are detached from the origins of life. So say in a very direct way, we are self detached, broken off the origins. So nature has great difficulties to hold life cycles going, and we perceive these problems by so-called ecological crisis and the climate changes and so on. But this is from the human side. We need to learn to look at life from both sides, from the human side, but also from the side of elemental worlds. I say elemental worlds because these are not just for element beings, but there is a different levels of these elemental worlds, and my perception is that we are on an equal level. While we are embodied, we are on the equal level with them, and there are like in the manifested world, there are different, like plants, animals, and so on, stones and mountains, landscapes. Also on this etheric or causal level, there are different dimensions of the elemental world. For example, there are beings that we call microorganisms. They, in effect, they are beings that cannot be seen. Only with this huge apparatus we can see them. But in effect, they are on the edge between embodied and not embodied. They are kind of bridge. If I ask elemental beings, they would say, we have also working animals, and these are the microcosm, microelemental beings that you know as microbes. Elemental beings hold matrices for anything, for each grass or halm, grass halm, and the microorganisms are able to bring this quality, consciousness and form into body. So it is not that there is mountains, everything stands around us, but it is recreated, constantly needs to be recreated. In each moment is different. Since we have put these walls around and see the reality only on the rational level since several hundred years, there is a great difficulty that these two world dimensions would communicate with each other. My work changed at the threshold of the third millennium, when I noticed that there are changes going on in this subtle realm that I say etheric or causal realm that are not normal. They are great changes. It is like Gaia is not ready to allow that we, with our rational civilization, we destroy this planet. To say it simply, she has started to develop a new path, so to say, a new Earth body, which is developed within the all. So around the year 2000, we found ourselves in a great turmoil of changes, which is also possible to see from outside. But in effect, it is the evolution of Gaia changed the direction. It moves in the direction of a pluridimensional planet, which means that the material or embodied level is one aspect, and then there are other dimensions in this new world building, world structure that since ever was in a way, but now it starts to be all these levels and dimensions starts to be interconnected. At this point, the importance of education comes in. We need educators that would help people to perceive beyond the three-dimensional box in which we live right now. Because if we don't perceive those realms and the new development of our home planet is for us something abstract. We can speak about, books are being written about, but if we don't perceive the quality and the energy and spiritual levels of this pluridimensional world that is now coming into being, then we are lost in a kind of cage with, in effect, without a future. There is a clear sense, looking at what is going on the planet, not just with ecological problems, but also with all these wars that go on. It is like a path leading nowhere, a closed path. So I started to search a way, and I am also teaching this different kind of perception, where the rational aspect does not simply enter. You look at a place and the rational patterns tell you how this place is or what is his function, but nothing about the living essence of this place and the beings that are constantly working so that life is being completed and renewed in each moment. So there is the change. There is a fundamental change in perception. I think this is the main revolution that is going on, is to open the heart, we say, like in a romantic way, but it is not romantic. It means that we have sensors, other kind of possibility of perception that is connected to our heart system. We are composed of different heart centers, not just one. So it is first is to feel. To feel comes on the first place, to make a heart-to-heart relationship with a place, with a being, and then the rationality, the mentality comes in to read the images that come into being, the feelings or colors or sounds that we perceive in this first phase. And in the second phase, our consciousness is able to read this phenomena, inward phenomena, and translate into clear expression. What is it? What we have perceived? In perceiving in such a way, I started to recognize that the elemental world has many different aspects, as I mentioned. Besides these micro-elemental beings that I call Gaia sparks, that are communion beings. They move in great flocks around and do their work. There is also something that we call fairy worlds. Fairy worlds, or with the Celtic name we speak of she. She or fairy worlds are autonomous culture or civilization developed by Gaia. Gaia is not just a mother of life, but she is also mother of cultures. She has developed cultures, elemental cultures that exist in this more dimensional world, so to say, within mountains, within oceans, lakes, or in different places in the landscape, but inside. And I would say that the fairy worlds, or she, represent a kind of sister of the human evolution. We are, as brother, we are lost in this world that we don't understand properly, which is fading away. But if we recreate relationships with these parallel fairy or she worlds, we find then somebody as not just as a friend, but as co-creators, somebody who can help us to deal with the subtle levels and problems within and around us that we are otherwise lost with. The traditions cannot help so much, because they are bound to certain hierarchical patterns. And so they often see the spiritual above and the earthly below, and don't realize that this is one multidimensional, rounded up holon. Holon, we use this word in geomancy to say a unit, autonomous unit. Gaia is autonomous world within larger systems like solar system and galaxy, but she is complete in itself and is able in such dramatic situations as we are now in, open a new path and take all the beings and dimensions with her. But I think that even if we develop a new kind of perception, and we develop again collaboration and communication with these parallel worlds, we cannot lean only on that. I think we need to develop a new kind of civilization. I call it Gaia culture, because I think this is, if you look around what is new developing, we all are searching a way to tune human creation to Gaia, the mother creator, let us say, of this wonderful planet. And through this attunement, we also tune to all other worlds and search in all different areas of human creativity, being agriculture or art or town planning. And so we search for new ways, but I think that the most important in this search is not just go from our own ideas and visions, but always connect also with parallel evolutions and beings, because only together we create a whole. Practically, I teach a kind of language as I mentioned, I developed a visual card language of cosmograms, but this is one thing. But then I discovered that human hands and also human body is a kind of potential language that nature and beings of nature understand. They are, I would say, they are constantly looking at the human being and trying to get from us inspiration and also for their work, and also the possibility of collaboration. Our body, so I have partly body exercises, partly exercises with hands, and practical exercises on places. Like if I, for example, the tree. There is a beautiful tree. You would like to contact, to talk to this tree. So my proposal is, you stand at the edge of the crown, because the roots go to the edge of the crown, so you are inside the aura of the tree. You stand at the edge and turn around, because our back has many sensors, and if we also in other situations, if we pursue with the back, then we are out of the control of eyes. Eyes control all our perception. We need to get rid of this control. So with the back towards the tree. And you stand like this, you feel. Now you have two possibilities. Either you imagine that the tree, a branch of a tree touches your crown chakra, and the roots go up and touch your soles of the feet. So you become part of the flow of the elemental being of the tree. The other possibility is you are still turning back, that you go few steps backward towards the trunk of the tree. You stop, you feel. You go a bit more, you stop and feel. And then in your imagination you continue and you step into the tree and feel how it is. And I think you will enjoy these two exercises. Then to connect to a river or a lake or the ocean, my proposal is to in your imagination to bend down and take some of water, and then ask the cosmos to shed drops of cosmic water into your hands, and then you spill this water over your body, so that the drops of it go down and come finally into the lake or river or ocean where you are standing. And then feel how from this water body flows upward the earthly water, let us say, and how the cosmic water through you, human beings are medium in this case, cosmic water flows into the earth. Then with hands, I use, for example, at a place, I am at a place or in front of a stone, I I use the gesture to say open. I ask, this is very simple gesture, all fingers are together, close like stone, and then when you say open, maybe 3 times, and then you go around the stone and into the stone, or the place is simply open. The elemental beings and worlds love human beings, and if invited, they open and give you experience. But also you should be open for this experience. So it's 2 ways, open is 2 ways. Then I use, for example, for change, to bring in a situation energies of change. I use such a movement along the edge of hands, because the hands have front, side, which is the manifested, embodied side, and have a back, which is the causal, the etheric side, from where the impulses come into hands to move. So you go. We have the wall that I was telling, that the rational culture built up, runs around the hand to prevent the communication with the subtle side, etheric. So you need to go like this in one direction, change direction, to break down the wall by this, like 2 milling stones. They break down this wall, and through this a change can come into a place. For example, for tuning to this epoch, when this new path opens, Gaia opens this new path of the planetary evolution, I use such a exercise. You close finger to finger. This is the closed space we are in now. This is the material earth. We are now touched, connected to the material earth. But the future earth is connected to the small fingers that represent the air, element of air, water, fire, earth, air. We are now in the face of the earth. But with this change, if you move like this, always the small fingers come of the thumbs. Thumbs represent the archetypal level of reality. Also, for example, for protection, I use a mandorla form to build in your imagination around the body. Also, very useful is the gesture of detachment. Gesture of detachment is useful in the situations where you are, in a way, attacked by foreign forces, like going to supermarket. There are very funny energies, and when you get out, make a detachment to be free of these influences. And the detachment is you press for 1, 2, and with 3 you detach. So those things that don't belong to your essence are there, and you are here. Once again, pressing. Now is a distinction between me and something that is, I feel, is not part of me and is just making me unhappy. But this is some touch, Gaia touch exercises that I developed. You can develop also your own exercises. Gaia touch is an open system that I developed since last 20 years. But be aware that we are a walking communication system with our movements. Be tuned at each moment, and the parallel worlds, our sister worlds, will appreciate our way of being. Thank you. Bye.